Hey everybody, my name is Ali. Over the last few months, I've been getting into zero waste slash reductionism and looking for inspiration online. I found that a lot of the videos done, including apartment tours, were mostly by women. So I wanted to give you guys an example of a guy's apartment and hopefully get other people to share things they've been doing to be less wasteful. So let me start over here by showing you the living room. One thing I did was set up a Wemo device that is connected to my phone and will put my electronics on a schedule so that they turn off at night and turn on whenever I need them. So I've just got a single wire going under the couch, and then it goes under the coffee table and to this cable storage box that has my Apple TV, my Nintendo Switch adapter, and then that connects to a projector, which creates a 150-inch picture on this huge wall over here, so great for watching movies and playing video games. All that is connected to this awesome Bose speaker that lasts about 7 to 10 days before I have to recharge it, and then if I'm watching something and I want to continue listening to the content, I can just pick it up and take it to the bathroom or bedroom or wherever I am. Another thing I've got over here is my yoga mat that I'll use to do abs in the morning or stretch, and it's natural cork on top, natural rubber on the bottom, so that's plastic free. My freezer, I've got my Instant Pot recipe book bookmarked to the page that shows me exactly how much water I need to add to certain things to cook them and how much cooking time is required. And I didn't compost for a long time because I didn't want to stink up the apartment, but then I found this example online where this one woman was composting in a little compostable bag and would put things in the freezer, and because it's in the freezer, it doesn't stink up your place, so that was a great idea. So I started doing that, and then once I fill up the bag, I'll just toss it in the back and then drop off my compost at the supermarket the next time I go. When I cook too much of something or I purposely cook a lot, I will store things in here in these mason jars, which freeze very well. Same thing I'm doing with tomato sauce. I started making my own tomato sauce. I've got my nuts and seeds over here, readily available snacks. Nuts keep better when you keep them in the freezer. And I've got the little weights written down over here. Whole Foods, at least my Whole Foods in my town, prefers that you write things down in pounds. And I've got my refillable olive oil jar. The shop I use here is really nice. They let me just bring in my own bottle and refill it. Same thing with my tea place. They let me bring in my own bottles and give me a little discount. Got my pantry over here. You can see a lot of these little wide mouth mason jars were once filled with nut butter. I use a lot of nut butter, and I love these jars because then I can just use the same weight on a lot of them, and they have a nice wide mouth, so they're easy to clean and scrape things out of. I do the same thing with my spices. So here's my spice rack. Once I use up the spices in a jar, I will peel off the label, throw it in the dishwasher, and then weigh it, label it, and then take it to the market and fill it up with something I want to use. And I end up saving a lot of money this way. Most spices will cost, $1 or $2, often under $1 for some of the cheaper ones. And here are the appliances I have. So I've got my scale to weigh my jars. I've got my Instant Pot so I can cook in bulk. And then I've got my juicer, which I'm not using so much these days, but if I've got some leftover produce and I'm in the mood for juice, a couple times a month I'll use it. I've got my little herb garden over here, and then I'll pick some herbs like my thyme, for example, and I'll dry it out so I can make some dried thyme. Just starting to dry out nicely. Other things I've got over here, my storage closet. I've got my TerraCycle box. So TerraCycle is this great company where they'll take things that are hard to compost or to recycle at most recycling facilities in cities, and they will repurpose or recycle things for you. So this is going to take me about 6 to 12 months to fill up, and then I'll just leave it outside my apartment. They'll come by and collect it, so that's great. I've got my wireless vacuum. This is the Dyson Absolute, highly recommended. The battery lasts about 40 minutes. Everything gets sucked up into this big canister over here, and then I'll just pull this red lever over here. The canister will pop pop out, and I'll dump all of my dust and stuff into the compost bin. And then I've got another Wemo device over here connected to my Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi turns off at night and turns back on in the morning, and this way it's not running all night for no reason. Save electricity and money. My bike to commute to work with my awesome U-lock holster, so I don't have to carry the U-lock around. Got my briefcase, got my bags for the supermarket with my pen for labeling my jars, and my cotton produce bags held together with a carabiner, and I've got the weight of the bags written on there as well with the Sharpie, and it doesn't come off in the wash. And whenever I'm done with my bulk jars and I've used up all the contents, I'll just wash it, make sure it's labeled properly, and just toss it in here. So when I go to the supermarket, I'll know to fill it up and I don't have to rely on remembering to look at a grocery list. I've got my donation cartons over here. So this is for H&M. I'll put socks and underwear and things that aren't appropriate to donate to the Salvation Army, and H&M will recycle it into new clothes. Best Buy does the same thing with old or broken electronics. And then I've got a sealed up Salvation Army box that they're going to come by and pick up tomorrow. So that'll be great. I tend to go through the apartment once a month and find things that I'm not using or I don't need. Here in the bathroom, I've got these really thin wooden bath mats from Crate and Barrel. So I've got one under the sink and another one in front of the shower. And wood is great because it doesn't look and smell dirty the way a fabric bath mat would. So I have to wash these things like maybe once a year, and they're really convenient. In my shower, I've got my electric shaver, my water pick, my nail clippers with my bar soap, and my Rhino ear washer as a substitute for cotton earbuds. I can do all this in the shower and not make a mess. And then I've got my spray over here filled with peroxide alcohol, dish soap, and what was the other thing? White vinegar and water. And that way I can, whenever I'm done showering, I just spray the entire shower with the solution, and it keeps mildew from forming and keeps things nice and clean. Over here in the toilet, I've got my bidet hose. You don't need an entire bidet contraption next to your toilet. The bidet hose works just fine. I got it from Amazon. I actually installed it here myself. It was really easy, and it's great on your butt. It's not as abrasive as using a bunch of toilet paper, and then you end up using less toilet paper. And then it also doubles up as a way to clean the sink and the toilet and the shower. And you can have a really weak jet, or you can have a really powerful jet and just adjust the strength of the jet stream over here. Got my bamboo toilet paper. I've got my squatty potty, or my version of the squatty potty over here, just a stool, which you can use. Better for your bowel health. And I no longer use plastic Gillette razors. I've got this stainless steel one. I'll just replace the razors when I'm done. And I got rid of my shaving can. I just use shaving soap now because I have a beard. The beard functions as a shaving brush, so I just wet my face, rub this on my beard, and then I use my hands and on my beard to create the lather, and then I can just shave that way, and then I clean myself off with one of these little towels that I'll just toss into the laundry. So here in the bedroom, I've got this 4-poster bed, which is not a very zero-waste, minimalist, reductionist thing to do, but it worked great for me because when I'm done showering, I can hang up my towel on one of these bars, and then the towel dries out. I don't have to wash it as often, and it doesn't stink. And I don't have to, put peroxide and chemicals to get the stink out of the towel. And then also, when I wash my clothes, I can just leave it to hang over here. And I'm not using electricity to use the dryer as much, and I'm not damaging the clothes with heat from the dryer. And lastly, over here, I've got my laundry. It's got wheels over here. I can take these baskets down to the laundry room. I've got these 3 little pouches over here. So I've got my dress socks, my sweat socks, and my underwear. And once these are filled up, I just pull the drawstring, tie them up, toss them into the laundry over here. So I've got clothes, towels, and dry cleaning. So I just wash all my clothes together in these little pouches, and then dry them in these little pouches. And then I'll take the pouches with the clean and dry clothes, open them up, and dump them into these little drawers so that I don't have to sort out my socks and underwear. I can just dump them into the drawers, and that makes laundry a lot less painful. So that's all I have for now. Thanks for taking the apartment tour with me. Let me know if you have any comments, any ideas, suggestions, and I'd love to see videos from you guys to show me ways that you find practical and cost effective to be less wasteful. Have a good rest of the day, guys.